Hi, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to this session of welcome to today's session with StartupSouth. Okay, welcome everyone to the session today. In the community today, this month, the whole of this month, we're dedicating all of this month to sales and marketing. For everyone who is a business person, you would agree with us. Every business person understands that revenue is the heart of business. Without revenue, there is no business. And for you to have revenue, you need to be able to sell. And even as we work, as we do, most of the times, as I work with a lot of investors, you begin to realize that you cannot have, you can't succeed, you can't successfully get investment if you don't already have revenue, right? So how do we, I think it became very important that as a community, we're able to deal with selling. What does it take to sell? A lot of founders would normally run away from selling, but selling is very, very important. So as you arrive today, I'd like for you to introduce yourself in the comment section. Let's have fun today. There is no, we're not paying for this. Some people have graciously provided their time to be able to do this for us. I can tell you that we have, for the entire 5 Fridays in October, we have people that have dedicated to teach us selling from different perspectives, including people that work in some organizations. I'm going to be revealing those names shortly. But today we're going to have Paul Okodua tell us, introduce us to inbound marketing. So some of you may have heard people talk about customer persona. What does it mean to develop customer persona or user persona, as you would hear? I'm sure at some point you will also hear terms like user journey and all of those stuff. You're going to be able to learn a couple of those things as Paul takes us through the sessions. Paul comes on. I do not intend for us to take a lot of time in preambles. Just do us a favor, introduce yourself in the comment section as you arrive. And I'm going to be turning this over to Paul as quickly as possible. Paul, how are you doing today?
Hi, Uche. I'm fine. I'm so glad to be here.
Awesome. So are you ready for this session?
Of course. I'm ready to tell folks and everybody who's listening or everything I know about inbound, getting started with inbound marketing, and make sure the sales are coming in as fast as possible.
Pumped up you are. I'm sure people are so ready to. People are ready and waiting to. If you're here, we'd like to know that you're around. Send us a message on the comments. Tell us that you're on the comments so that we can have you. We can acknowledge your presence. Hillary, thank you for joining. Hillary says he does social media and is joining from Port Harcourt. Thank you, Hilary, for joining. Who else is on here? Paul, I am turning over the session to you. You start by sharing your screen.
Okay, definitely I will. So this is my screen. Yes, this is my screen now. So I'm sure everyone can see my screen now.
Great.
Okay.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. Do I go on now?
Great. So Jennifer, welcome. Jennifer is a customer service representative based in Port Harcourt. Welcome, Jennifer. Okay, great. Paul, I turn this over to you. Let's have a great session.
Okay. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I'm super grateful. Hello, everyone. So glad to be here. So my name is Paul. I'm a sales and marketing consultant, and I'm based in Benin City here. So today I'm going to be taking you guys on a journey at which you will learn inbound marketing. So this guide is basically very big businesses, talking about startups who are still refining their processes and who are trying to find out what best fits their own businesses. So it's also for entrepreneurs and anyone who's looking forward to learning. So today we're going to be answering questions like, what's inbound marketing? So I know you've been hearing about inbound. Why is it so special? Why does everyone just keep on telling you about, hey, you have to go inbound. Inbound is the new way. It's the best way to sell your product. It's the best way to get people buying your product as fast as possible. So from there, we're going to understand user persona. So Uche talked about user persona at the beginning of this class. So we're going to expatiate a lot more about user persona and how you personally can create one yourself. So it's really straightforward. It's easy to create as long as you know what exactly you're doing. So, and also we're going to be moving forward to inbound strategy and a formula. So inbound is not just it's not just you can't just begin doing inbound without having a clear goal in mind, without having a clear strategy, without having a clear way you're going to impress your customers in mind. So lastly, we're going to show you how to help. So inbound, this whole summary about inbound is about helping. So we're going to show you how to help your customers, how to help them and not sell to them, how to help them in such a way that they will be the one craving for your own product. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's move forward. So this is an amazing quote from somebody I respect so much, from Gary. I'm sure you know about Gary V. It says, more content means more sharing of information, gossiping, exchanging, engaging. In short, it means a lot of word of mouth. So that's the point here. The more customers you have, the more people who's buying from you, the more persons come into your business every day, the more information you want to share, the more gossiping you want to take place, and you want to take advantage of the biggest way people market, which is word of mouth. I can assure you that nothing is better than word of mouth. So we're moving forward. So this is the meat. What is inbound? What is inbound marketing? Like what are you seeing here? It's inbound marketing is about building a relationship with the customer. Outbound is about throwing advertisement and throwing everything on the customer's faces. But inbound, you're building a relationship. You're trying to know, who are my customers? You're trying to understand, what do they like? You're trying to understand where are they coming from? Why are they buying from me? What problem do they have? So you're trying to partition every customer that is coming to your organization, trying to find out what exactly do I want, do they want from me? So it's a way you can attract your customer by creating very valuable content for them. So for when you're talking about outbound, so now you're going to say, I'm going to create Facebook advertisement, and when it converts in 1%, then I'm going to close the sale, or I'm going to say create advertisement on YouTube, on social media. But for inbound, you're really creating valuable content that is tailored to every section of every particular kind of customer that comes to your company. See the difference, right? That's what you're doing. You're saying, hey, I think my customer I think my customer love the way I okay, I think my customer love this type of information. I think my customers, they're always asking, they want to know about this part of our business. I think my customer like this. I think they like that. So you're creating very valuable content every day and every time. And the major way people do this, they do this through blogging. They do this through um, blogging content. They do this through write-ups, through images. So what you're essentially doing, you're teaching your customers so much about your business that they become so involved in your business, so integrated in your business that they can't really let you go. Because every time they think about your kind of business, what they're thinking is they're thinking about the value that you're giving to them. So by that time, they feel so part of your business. They feel that every decision that you're taking, they are the ones who's helping you make it because of how much value, because of how much content you're giving to them. So you're not just waking up every morning. You're not just waking up in the morning and saying, I'm going to switch my product to this. No, that's outbound. With inbound, you're switching your product based on what your customers think, based on what your customers like. So you're not you're most especially those persons who own maybe who own app startups, mobile application startups, SaaS startups. So if you see companies that are operating inbound, they don't change and switch their product like that. They only switch. They go with where the customers are going. If the customer is not going there, you're not going there. Why? Because everything is tailored around your customer. So that's what inbound is. You're building relationship all the time with your customer. You're trying to find out who they are, what they eat for. Sometimes some companies even go ahead to even find out what their customers love for breakfast, the kind of present they had during their last birthday, the kind of personality type they are. Some persons go that detailed. Some persons companies go that detailed because they want to be able to tailor their services to each customers. So inbound marketing, outbound marketing. Just like you can see on the screen, inbound marketing forms connections that is looking forward to solve problem that your users already have. That's what you're doing. So you think probably let's take for example, people are finding it difficult to buy. Um, let's say people are finding it difficult to buy. Working class people are finding it difficult to buy food in Lagos. So let's say in Ikeja, and they're always in the office, you're finding it difficult to buy stuff. That's a very big problem that people have. What an adband focused company will do, they would create a Facebook advert and put it on your face and start showing you coolers, recipes, different types of food. That's what an adband company would do. But what an inbound company will do, they will first of all find the type of people who are facing those problems among the lots. Then they will start educating them and saying, hey, I think you have this problem. This is the way we think you're going to solve it. I think you have this problem. This is the way we are going to solve it. Why Adban keep on putting advertisement on your face all the time? You see it swaps, you see click-through advertisements, you see banner advertisements, you see text advertisements. It just keeps on coming to your face. You don't really need it. You don't really care. For example, you see sometimes you're on Facebook and you see someone shows you a shoe, someone shows you a laptop, people just keep on showing you so many things. Probability of you buying is less than 1% because you don't really need it. But when you go to Google, a place like Google, you're actively looking for information. And companies who are inbound focused are those companies who will win your attention because they will give you answer to the problem you're actively solving. So that's why we always advise to say, hey, you have to start educating your client if you want to be found where people are actively looking for you. Social media is good, but it's not putting all your stuff and trying to advertise on social media is very nice, but it's not the best way for you to get the best client that will stay with you for a very, very long time. So we're moving forward. If you have any question, don't forget to leave it in the comment section. So one very essential thing before you can go inbound as an entrepreneur or as a startup is that you must create a customer persona. So a persona is a fictional representation of your ID customer. As a company, you don't have to be restricted to just a single persona alone. You can have four, you can have five, you can have three, you can have two. It really depends on the problem you're solving and the people you're solving the problem for. So for every time you want to go inbound, for every time you're tailoring the content, for every time you're creating a video content, for every time you're trying to educate your prospect, you want to be educating a particular section. Definitely, everyone is not your customer, and I'm sure you know that by now as a business person. So for inbound, you want to find out who exactly will I be educating? Who exactly is my product made for? Why do I have to? When I write my content, who in my head will I be writing those content for? That's something very important you want to first of all understand. But why, you may ask, why do I even have to create a persona where I think people already buying my product, or when I think that I know the person in my mind? Why do I really have to stress myself to find out to create this particular persona? First, a persona will enable you to understand who you are as a company. That's one very important thing. Who you are as a company. If you know who you are as a company, then you'll be able to know the kind of problem you're solving. The kind of problem you're solving will determine your marketing strategy. It will determine the kind of strategy you're going to use whenever you're marketing. Because once you're solving a problem, then you're going to think of, who am I solving the problem for? See? So it will, when you start to bring a fictional representation of your prospects, then you'll be able to say, okay, I think my prospect name is John. I think John has this problem. I think John is going through this. Then you'll be able to understand how to actually market to John. Another reason why creating a customer persona is very important is you will be able to know where your customers are. What channel are you going to use to find them? Let's take for example. Say you are targeting retirees. Say you're running a pension scheme and you want to target, or probably you have a product and you're targeting old retiree. You can go ahead and put your stuff on Instagram. They wouldn't care. They wouldn't even budge. They won't take it. You can go ahead and start putting your advertisements on blog, or start doing guest posts on blog. They don't care. They don't care about that. So most time you want to target retiree, you want to say, okay, I think I'm going to put my stuff on radio. I think I'm going to put my stuff on newspapers, because that's what they're actively reading. They're very interested in politics. They're very interested in papers. That's what they're actively reading. But if you do not create a persona, if you do not understand who exactly you're selling to, then there is no way you'll be able to know the channels to reach them. So that's why it's very important. You create a persona, you understand who you're selling to, you understand the problem you're solving for them, then you understand. Then you go ahead and find out, this problem I'm solving and this person's I'm solving their problem. What channel will I find them? What channel will I find them? Where are they actively looking for solutions? Are they looking for solutions on Google search? Then I want to start blogging. Are they looking for solutions on YouTube? Then I want to start a vlog, start educating my customers. Are they looking for pictures? And I want to say, okay, I think Pinterest and Instagram will be the best place for me to go. So that's one amazing thing that uh, creating a persona enable you to do. So we're going forward. How do I come up with a persona? There are several ways. You're not restricted to these three ways. There are several ways for you to come up with a persona. But I'm just going to list these three, which is the most common way businesses and startups come up with persona. So don't forget, personas change. It is not constant. That's one thing you have to know. It's not constant. It does change. As you move on in your business, as you iterate your product, as you move from one, as you understand your customers more, the personas are bound to change. So what you're doing with creating the persona, you're just getting out of the building to ask questions about your customer, then writing it down in a piece of paper, or maybe using the software or something. So you're just saying, okay, I think my persona, they wake up by 3 o'clock, then I want to write it. I think they don't, then I want to write it. But they change. The patterns of your customer will change over time, and your product will likely change with them. So one of the easiest way to come up with a persona is via interviews. via interviews. Talk to your users via interviews. If you have people who are already using your product already, talk to them. If you think you know where people who are using your product are, go ahead and talk to them. And while you're talking to them, don't go and ask a question like, especially those persons who are just come with a new product. Don't go ask questions like, hey, I'm building a product XYZ. Will you buy? Let me shock you. They're going to say, yes, I'm going to buy. I'm building a product that solves, that help you travel to the moon. Will you be interested in traveling to the moon? They would say, yes, I'm very interested. But the bad thing is when you're done with developing the product, you go back to them, they're not buying. They're not buying because you did not ask them the real questions and you just went ahead and you thought they were going to buy. So what you want to ask when you're doing these interviews, you want to ask very open-ended questions. That's what you want to ask them. You want to ask them, what kind of problem are you facing? What kind of problem are you facing? How have you been solving this problem? How how much have you spent solving this problem? That's very important. How much have you spent solving this problem? See, if they have not spent any money at all solving a particular problem, then they are not going to pay, even if you bring a solution to them. So if you're facing if they are really facing a problem, then they will be spending money to solve it. Or it's either they're spending money to solve it or they are losing money. Those are some of the things you want to add. Don't tell them about your product at all. Instead, find out the kind of problem they're going through. Find out how much they're losing. Find out if they're looking for, they're actually looking for a solution to that problem. Find out how much they're losing to that problem. Then you'll be able to go home and say, okay, I think I have someone to sell to. I think I know the problem that people are going to. Then I am going to create a product, or I'm going to tailor my product to meet this need. Then for existing businesses, you can create a persona with your customer history. So say you have 100 persons who are buying from you already. A good way to do that is to find similarities among your existing customers. Find out what product are they buying the most. Find out where are they coming from. Find out who they are. What language do they speak? What's their level of education? So that's why it's very good for you to have records, for you to keep records of everyone who's buying from you, because over time it's going to form a pattern. It's going to form a pattern that you can use to create a persona, that you can use to iterate your product. Then fiction. Fiction is a way for you to do that. It's another very important way. If you don't have any, if you're not going for an interview, if you don't have existing customers, one way to do this is through research. Go ahead and research about your customer, or about people who are solving the problem you're solving already. Go ahead and just brainstorm. Have a team section if you have a team. Have a stand up. Let everyone talk about who they think actually is facing this particular problem. Then you write it in your business model canvas, or write it in your persona, write it in the persona sheet. So I'm going to show you what a persona sheet look like as we go on. So you write it. Then as you go, don't forget it's called fiction. As you go, it's going to change. When you interview, the fictional character will change. So let's quickly go forward. I think time is going. Don't forget, if you have a question, always leave it at the chat section and we'll respond to it as fast as possible at the end of the class. So this is a customer persona. This is a tiny sheet that has a customer persona. This is the way a customer persona look like. So now, if you look at it very well, you will see it has an age. The age of this customer is 25 to 34. And it has a name. The name is Admin Joseph. So you can see it has a social network where we'll find them. So on this sheet, we're saying we're going to find them on Twitter and on LinkedIn. So we understand the industry, we understand the organizational size, which is very important. So now we understand that Joseph's preferred means of identification of communication, is email, and also text messaging, face to face. We're just profiling them very, very well. We check the tools they need to get their job done. We check how much their job is measured, if it's going to be revenue, customer satisfaction, number of referrals. We check their job responsibility, their goals, how they gain information. So you see, when you understand this as a business, it really gives you an edge over other companies who do not understand this. It really points you in the right direction when you're marketing your product. It really tells you who you're going to market to, where you're going to find them, and how you're going to find them. So I'm going to be running through, we have just 4 minutes left. So the inbound strategy, the inbound strategy. Don't forget, inbound is about building relationships with your customer. Then this is the way to build relationship with your customer. First, you attract people to your business. You attract people to your business. You attract people to what you do. You tell them what you do. You can do this via word of mouth. You can do this by sharing on social media. You can do this by writing very amazing content. You can do this by you attract customers majorly by sharing. That's the way you attract customers. You attract them majorly by sharing. So it's when you share, that's when they know who you are. That's when they know. That's when they become leads. That's when they want to buy from you. So you first of all share. First of all, share via social media and any other platform you think. Then the next, after sharing. So another means to share, you can also create lead magnets. That's one very nice way to share, so that they will opt in into your email list and you keep on educating them. You keep on educating them. You keep on educating them. You keep on telling them this is the kind of problem you're solving. Do you have this problem? We can solve it for you. Then after attracting them for a while, next you want to delight them. When you're delighting them, you're creating personalized content. Remember, when you attracted them, any content was able to attract them. But now, when you're delighting them, you're creating personalized content that will fit their need. So if someone is saying, I want to learn how to bake, you don't go ahead and send them a message how to install an application. It doesn't work at all. They will run away from you and they will not come back. So now you want to segment your contacts. You want to segment your contacts. You want to put them in a CRM. HubSpot is a very good CRM. Mailchimp is very good. You want to put them in a very good CRM that you can split your contact into different sections and start providing content that is tailored to their own needs. So next, you want to engage them. So when you're engaging them, this is the part where you advise, when your customers, when your leads begin to share. They are so fond of you now. They understand the kind of things that you do. They understand that your content is amazing. So now they want to share. They want to share. They want to share the kind of solutions you offer. They want to share the things that you do. Now you're creating bit-sized content that is very, very shareable. It might be mime, it might be mime, it might be GIFs, it might be images, it might be image that represents your customers very, very well. So now you're saying, hey, I think your customer is saying, I like what this company is doing. I like the problem they're solving. So now I want to share. So your customers, this is your customers now helping you to do a lot of things. But now this is where the work is. This is where you have a lot of work. You have to keep on giving them things to share so they can keep on sharing. The more they share, the more your business expands. The more they share, the more things expands. So I'm going to go on. The inbound formula. The inbound formula, it's called AIDA for short. AIDA for short. That's AIDA. AIDA for short. So the first thing about the inbound formula, like we've been emphasizing, is to discover your customer's problem. That's the first thing. So when people come to your site, create your site's content. Remember, we said that one easy way to get attention is through blog posts, copy, social media. So when you're blogging, create your blog content for different personas that you've created. If it's one persona, create your blog content to target that particular persona. But if it's different, create all of them to target the different personas that you have. So you can going organic here, it's very, very good. As startups will not really have the huge amount of money to pour into marketing. So you can do so via organic posts, via optimizing your SEO. You can do so via survey. You can do so via opt-in. So now you're creating, you're pouring so much information. You're pouring information on your customer's face, and you're catching their intention by telling them, hey, I think you have this particular problem. I'm going to solve it for you. I think you have this problem. I'm going to solve it for you. So now what you're majorly starting with in most of your content, you're starting with your customer's problem. Because if you tell me about my problem, I'm going to stand still and listen to you. So you're starting from your customer's problem. Then at the end of the day, you build interest. When you build interest, you are emphasizing. This is the part where you emphasize the problem. Sometimes it's called making the problem larger than life. So you are emphasizing the problem they have. When you create their attention, you go ahead and emphasize the problem a lot, then they will even be more interested to listen to you. So maybe somebody is saying, imagine you meet somebody who makes hair. The problem of the person is that the person wants to make hair. But what will keep the person interested is saying, hey, I think you want to look beautiful to your family. I think you want to look beautiful to people around you. I think you want your spouse to see you as beautiful. The more you emphasize the problem they have, the more you emphasize the problem that they are facing at that particular time, the more you keep their interest. Then later, after keeping your interest, the next thing is desire. Desire. What exactly will your product be doing to them? So customers always go with this thing, with him. It's called with him. That is what is in for me. That's the major thing that your prospect care about. Under inbound, that's what they majorly care about. What's in for me? Don't pour on your customer's face what is in for you. They will run away. But instead, what you want to do to them, you want to tell them, this is the solution my product will be solving for you. It will enable you to do A, B, C, D, E, F. Everything will just be filled with benefits. Especially one easy way to create desire like this is through email marketing, by telling them over and over and over again what benefits your product can give to them. Outside email marketing, testimonies are a very good way to increase the desire of a client, of a prospect. When they see that other persons have bought from you before, other persons have been able to you've solved other person's problem before, then they will be able to come to you. You have testimonies now. You're putting on their face. Video testimony, I advise personally, you go with video testimonies. Incentivize your existing customers. Ask them to do a video for you that you can paste on social media, you can paste on your website. This will further make the desire to buy your product stronger. Then next is action. Writing copies, making your customers take action, asking for the sell. So now you've taken them from attention, you've increased their interest, now they're desiring your product. Next is to make them take action. Lots of customers are going to take action immediately, but not all of them will. So statistics have it that for 3% of customers who don't take action in the first time, we take action when you tell them again, when you make them desire the product all over again. You might say it might be you sharing testimonies of those persons who have taken action before now. So you can go, maybe you did a sale, you asked them to buy a product they did not buy at that point in time. Then you send them a testimony, or you send them a testimony of other persons who have bought the product and they are very, very eager to buy. This especially works for those persons who are running e-commerce. It works a whole lot. E-commerce company make use of this a whole lot, telling people about the testimony of all those persons that bought before and reminding them of a cart they left behind, and they will likely come back and buy. So we're moving forward. This is the last slide. So they ask, you answer. What does this mean? Let's look at the stats here. 82% of marketers who use blogs see results. 82% of salespeople and marketers who use blog, who are always writing, they see results. Inbound marketing costs 66% less than outbound. So that means if you're spending $1 million on outbound marketing, that means for inbound you should be spending 390,000 naira on inbound marketing. They ask you answer. Let's go through this. Whenever you type something on Google, what exactly are you looking for? You're looking for questions. You're looking for answers to your questions. That's what you're looking for. Customers are not drawn to people, to organizations, and to entrepreneurs that can provide them with the best answer they're looking for. Not just any answer, but very, very detailed answers. That's what's working now. And the kind of answers you want to be answering, all the W's and the H. Why? What? Who? Where? When? And how? Those are the kind of posts that has the highest amount of traffic. Those are the kind of questions you want to be answering for your customer. Why should they use your product? How should they use your product? When should they use your product? Where can they buy your product? Who should use your product? So every question, some startups think when I answer a question too much, I'm scared. I'm going to be giving out my company's secret. See, your customers don't care about your company's secret. What they care about is that they come to you and you solve their problem for them. That's the most important thing they care about. So think of it. It could be 100. It could be 1,000. Sit down with your team. If you don't have a team, sit with your table and your chair and think about all the questions, all the potential questions that your customer will ask about your business and start to answer them. Answer them via mail, answer them via written test, answer them via video, answer them via infographics. Think about all the questions. Say, for example, you run a website design company, a creative company. You want to answer questions like the cost of building a website, the cost of building a real estate website, how we build websites, why you should build a website, who should build a website for you, why should you hire me? So those are some questions that people are actively looking for, and that's what you want to be answering on your website, on your blog, on YouTube, on anywhere your customers can find you. These days, the companies that are answering the highest amount of number of questions are the companies that are getting the most customers coming to them. And not just that, because whenever you answer questions, people see you as a thought leader and people see that you have authority in that particular field. They want to trust you. They want to refer people to you. They want to always come back to you over and over and over and over again. So it's very, very important that you answer as many questions as possible. Don't just depend on your frequently asked question. It doesn't work. Don't depend on just your frequency asked question. You say, hey, okay, I think I have customer frequently asked question on my blog. I think that's enough. It's not enough. You want to say everyone in your company, everyone from your secretary, the CEO, everyone in your company has to be involved in the inbound process. If you're a secretary, you want to answer people answering questions about what is the secretary doing in your organization. If you're a CEO, people answering questions. There are questions that your customers are always answering. I was telling you about. They're always talking to you about. Then you want to write about it in a concise manner, put it in your blog, so your customers will learn. And lastly, answering all these questions will help you save time. They will help you save time. It will help you qualify your customers faster, because you will know that any customer who's coming to who has gone through my website, especially if you're using a CRM, you will understand that they are the right choice of customer for you, because they have gone through your customer journey. They have gone through you had their attention, you got their interest, they read your blog, they received your email. Now they want to buy from you. So it should be far, far easier. So we're rounding up. So now this is the last slide, and this is an exercise for everybody who's watching this webinar right now. First, go ahead and create an inbound strategy form for your company, and also interview 10 prospective users of your product. If you 10 prospective users, if you already have customers, interview them and see the kind of problem you're solving, how they're using your product, and what they're using it for. And next, create a list of 100 questions your clients are always asking you. I know 100 is much, right? But really, once it starts flowing, it just keeps on flowing up and up, on and on and on and on. Create a list of 100 questions your clients are always asking you, and start to answer them. It might take a month for you to answer them. It might take 2 months. It might take 3 months, depending on how you want to do it. But start to answer them as fast as possible. So I'm going to leave my email on the chat section. You can always reach out to me via Twitter and just tell me that you have your exercise ready, and I'll be able to go through with you to make sure that all what you've done is very good and it's sound and you can use it for your business. Thank you very much for having me here. I think my 30 minutes ended now. Thank you so much. Really, really grateful. And it's been great teaching you and talking to you.
Paul, not so fast yet. Can you hear me?
Of course, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Awesome. So thank you so much. I guess I think this was awesome. And I believe that a lot of people would have questions. I believe there are questions that people have and they would love to ask. I have some questions of my own.
No problem.
So I'm going to be asking those questions as well. But first, we'll take Evans. Evans is asking. Evans says, in your view, how often should a startup review their persona profile over time, right? So
Okay.
have that, just note that while I add another question of mine.
Okay.
In summary, my understanding is that inbound is a process that allows you to figure out what questions that your potential customers would most likely have about your product and your services, and trying to answer those questions ahead of time, using your blog or even your social media handles to begin to answer those questions, but in a way that connects you to those customers, because
Yes.
you then because it establishes some level of interest.
Yes, it does.
Essentially, that's a summary. That's what you're saying,
Absolutely.
that
Absolutely.
inbound is. Am I
Absolutely.
correct?
Absolutely. Creating relationship between yourself, your company, and your customer. That's what you're always doing with inbound. You're fostering good relationship. That's it.
Okay.
Hello, Chair. Okay.
So
Go ahead.
So if this is correct, aside from the questions that customers ask you directly, right?
Yeah.
Where else do you go and find the other questions that users of your product or users of your service or possible users of your service might have in order to be able to answer them? Where are you going to go find them?
Okay. First of all, when you were building your product, everyone had questions. When you were building this product that you're currently selling right now, or the product that you're intending to take into the market, everyone had problems. Everyone had questions, and you faced a lot of problems along the way. So also, you should also have it in mind that your customers are going to have those same problem. Example, when you were doing user testing, when you launched your product, you're always noticing there are lots of questions that you personally you are answering yourself. So it doesn't necessarily mean that your customers will ask you all the questions you're going to answer. No, that's what you should think. You and your team should think about the potential questions that if would-be customer would likely ask you, then start answering them ahead of time. And also, you have other businesses in your niche too. There are other businesses in your niche that have been answering questions. But the point is, the one thing about Google and one thing about search, who answers it the best? Who is more detailed and is able to give information to the customers the most win the whole search results page war. So it's very good that you check out what other persons are doing, check out what other customers in your niche are doing, check what kind of questions they're answering, check out their whole stuff. You can even go ahead and spy on other startups in your niche. Go ahead and chat up with their customer service. It's easy. Go ahead and check out their frequently asked questions. It's easy, especially if you're just starting out. Then you want to spy on companies that are like 10 years in your niche, 5 years in your niche. You want to check out people who are there already and start to answer those questions. And one thing about inbound Uche is the fact that you don't have to be big to win the inbound war. You don't have to be big. You could be a company operating from an apartment, and you'll be your search results and the customers that you'll be getting will be way more than a company that has a mansion. That's than a company that spends 100 million on advertisement. So that's the point. It really depends on how much information you can give, not just any information, but how much credible information you can give to your customer who is actively looking for answers, those type of answers. So you see, not just any information, but the one that your customers are actively looking for. Then the other question, it says, how
Okay.
often? Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I have something to say about the last talk, but answer the other question before I chime in.
Okay. It says, how often do you review your customer persona? Just things are bound to change, but if you do so every 3 months, it won't be a bad thing at all. There is no fixed time because as things change, you iterate. a startup is a company that is meant to grow fast and iterate very, very fast. So there is no particular time, there is no particular months you should wait. But 3 months will not be a bad time. You get more information about your customers, you get more information about what your customers want, you iterate your process. You get more information, you iterate your process. That's the way it keeps on going. So it's not a one-time thing. It's not something you do today and wait for 5 years. You can do it now. You can see that your customers are changing within the next 2 months. You go ahead and make a tiny adjustment and so on. So it's not a one-time thing.
Okay, great. So some people would use Google Webmaster Tools in order to find out what people are searching for.
Okay.
Are you familiar with that process?
Oh, yes, of course. Okay. You want me to talk about it, right?
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Can you repeat again?
You want me to explain the process of how to find your customer persona, right?
No, not customer persona.
What people are actively looking for?
Yeah, what people are looking for in order to be able to provide those answers. Some people would use
Answers to them.
some people would want to use Google Webmaster Tools, or maybe Google, basically Google Webmaster Tools to check out the phrases that people are searching for, keywords people are searching for, in order to have an insight into what to write about, because they want to be able to position for,
yes.
they want to position in the search engine. So do you understand that process? Have you used those processes before?
Of course. It's what I actively use in my daily routine as I work with businesses and other clients, other entrepreneurs. So for you to find things that people are actively looking for, there's a paid way to do it, and there is a free way to do it. So I'm going to tell you about the free way to do it. First, the free way, all you need is a browser. All you need is your browser, your Google search browser, and nothing else. Say I am going to ask, say my customers are actively asking what is marketing. I will go ahead and pop what is marketing on Google search. Then Google have this new type of results. They will show you what people asked, the questions that people ask, and the answers to it. When you see that, you go ahead and copy all those questions. Then when you scroll to the bottom of it, you will see people also asked. So you would copy all those questions. Those are some answers that people are looking for. Then you write it in a spreadsheet or in a Google Doc. Then you will go to Google Trend, so that you can see the time frame at which people are asking for those questions. You will pop those questions on Google Trend, or you will take a particular word, some keywords of those questions, and pop it up on Google Trends. Then you will see the way those search have been trending over time. That's one way. Then all those words that are trending very well, that you think they're trending over a period of time, you would copy it and pop it on you would go and put it in Google Keyword Planner. Then you'll be able to you will see real-time statistics. You'll be able to see the number of search, how much those things are worth, if you should write about them. Google now will even give you topics. They will even give you other similar words. From that, you'll be able to populate it and see other similar words that people are writing about. Another good way to,
Paul?
Yeah?
My apologies, I'll have to cut
I can hear
right? You. If you don't mind,
okay, no problem.
If you don't mind, I want to ask you for two things, right? One is I want to beg your favor.
Okay.
One is I want to beg your favor, right? Can I put you on the spot and ask you to do a live demo of how to do this? Maybe like using Google Trends. Can you show us your screen how to do this?
Of course.
Maybe using any fictional product or service. Can you show us how to do this? Then second thing I want to ask you is, can you give us some of the paid tools that the names of some of the paid tools that people can use to find out what people are searching for around their product or service area?
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do something
Because
about
we don't
keto.
have a lot of time.
Okay, I'm gonna search for, I think, keto diet. So I think that's something that just came to my mind. I'm not sure if people know about it, but I'm gonna say keto diet. So I want to look for what I'm going to write. So if I run a keto diet company, so I want to find out what people are actively looking for. So I'm gonna share my screen now. I want to share my browser. Um, I'm sharing my browser right now. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. So I want to go search for keto diet. So I'm searching for keto diet now. So we can see this is people also ask. Can you say people also ask why keto diet is bad? Why can't you eat keto diet? What is the basic principle of the keto diet? Can you eat banana on keto? So if I scroll to the bottom of it, you see related searches. You're saying keto diet food, keto diet for beginners, keto diet menu. So these are all things that are worth writing about. So what I would do, I would copy all these things one after the other and put it in a spreadsheet. Then I will go open another tab and say Google Trend. So I want to go to Google Trend. It's a free tool. It's not paid at all. It's very free. So I'm going to any country I want to target. So I want to target Nigeria, but I'm not sure if we're going to get a very good result in Nigeria because people don't really practice this. So I'm going to say United States. Then I'll go back to my search, and I want to find out a keyword here. So the keyword here is keto diet menu, depending on what I want. But I just want to start up with a phrase, keto diet. So I'm going to go pop it into the search and say keto diet. So it's loading now. So I can see the search trend over time. To see if it is going up or it's going down. So you can see now that it's actually very progressive. It's up and it's down. So it's very, very progressive. I can see the time, past 12 months. I can even check past 5 years, past 90 days, depending on what I want. So I can see what people are actively looking for. These are some related topics, plant-based. These are dieting, custom keto diet reviews. So these are different stuff here. So I want to go, I could pick,
Can you choose Nigeria instead? Can you choose Nigeria instead?
No problem, I could. So let me go back and let me go home. So let me choose Nigeria then. So this is Nigeria, and I'm searching for keto diet. So you can see the trend. Nigeria is going up, down, up, down. So people are actively looking for it. So people are actively looking for a keto diet, but the numbers are not much. So I can see the persons, the country, the places where people are actively looking for it. FCT, Rivers State, and Lagos. These are the places. So I can say, you can see the topics: anti-obesity meditation, weight, low carbohydrate diet, fasting, keto diet plan. So I could pop out, I would take a record of all this and take it to my Google Keyword Planner. Google Keyword Planner. This is my Google Keyword Planner. So I will find it. So go to Google Keyword Planner. Any account, okay, any account. So it's opening up. So this is my Google Keyword Planner now. So I would go and check out the keywords the keyword that people are actively looking for over here. So we can say keto diet plan. This is the one that is having a lot of search, which is 100. The other ones are all breakouts. So keto diet plan. And one good thing about having a sub-region is that I could say keto diet plan Lagos when I'm writing my article, or when I'm giving a title, or when I'm putting the keyword inside my article. I could say keto diet plan FCT, keto diet plan Rivers. It gives it more weight. It makes Google to understand that I'm actually writing this article for people who live in Lagos. So I'm going to go back to the keyword planner now and type in, say I want to discover new keywords, or I want to get focused. So I'm just going to get focused. I want to discover something new. So we say keto diet plan. So I could pop out as many keywords as possible, but I just want to get started. So you can see the impression for it is 110 clicks. Impression is 1,100, and cost is $31. Click-through rate is 10%, which is very, very high. Average prediction is 0.91. So this is, so with this, I can check if the keyword that I'm targeting is good. I can check how competitive it is. I can check, uh, um, I can check if I should write about it. From this, what you're seeing on my screen now, this keyword is not very competitive. It's not very competitive at all because the cost per click is only $3. So it's not very competitive. But even though it's not competitive, see how many clicks it gets, 109. And the impression it gets every day is 1,078. So you can see if I write about this, so I'm not talking about any write-up like 300 words or 2,000 words, but if I write extensively, say I write like 4,000 or 3,000 and above, I write extensively about keto diet plan that will include how to create a keto diet plan, what's a keto diet plan, why I should create a keto diet plan, examples of keto diet plan, then people would go through it, they will read about it, and they will be able to understand it. So from there, people who click, I would definitely have a customer at the end. I would definitely have a happy customer at the end of the day. Not just any customer who will come to me and start asking crazy questions, but customer who have read this ebook, they've really read it very well because they're interested in it. Customer who are looking forward to pay me to create a keto diet plan that fits their daily routine. So these are some of the easiest way. There is Uber Suggest. Uber Suggest is pretty easy too, though now it's a paid tool now, but you can still use it. And the all-in-one tool that you can use to do this, you can use Moz. Moz is an all-in-one tool. Aref and Moz. It's an all-in-one tool for you to do everything that has to do with search engine optimization or keyword generation, especially if you're writing all the time. They're all premium plans. So I just want to open it to my browser now so you would see. I'm going to say Moz. Sorry, not Mozilla
Okay,
Fire. thank you. Do you want to spell those? Do you want to spell the names of those stuff in case people?
Oh, yes, of course.
People are interested.
Okay, Moz is spelled as M. Yes, I do. Moz is spelled as MOZ.com. Moz, MOZ.com. That's Moz.
Oh, yeah, Moz.com.
Yes. Then Aref. AHREFX. Arefs. Then there is Uber Suggest. UBB, just like the Uber car. UBERXUGGEXT. Uber Suggest. It's very, very popular.
Okay.
So with those two or those three, they are paid, but you'll be able to do a complete overhaul of all your content. And also with Aref, Aref don't only help you to create content. It helps you also spy on your competitors' content. It helps you also spy so you can, not because you want to duplicate it, so you can do better. So say your competitor have an article that is ranking #1 and they have like 1,000 words. So what you want to do now, you want to go ahead and check out the major thing that's written in the article. Rewrite it. Probably the article was written 5 years ago. That's like 2015. But now I want to come up with the topic and say Keto Diet Plan 2020. But this time it's like 4,000 words. It's very catchy. It's very informative. In time, it might not happen immediately, but with time, say like 3 months, your article will go to like say #3. You go ahead and optimize it more using all these tools. Then your article you can beat that other person and become #1.
So that's something that Ahref allow you to do.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Paul. It's been a very enlightening session. I
Thank you
want
very
to
much.
believe that everyone who joined have been able to learn something from this. Like I said in the beginning, marketing is everyone's work, and marketing is a very essential part of doing business. A lot of people tend to run away from marketing or sales, and yet they want to be successful. It doesn't just work that way. If you want to be successful in your business, then you want to be able to be, you must take marketing and sales seriously. Um, for the whole of October, for those of you in the community and everyone else, we'll be focusing on sales and marketing. You know, so if you want, you every Friday by 4:30, we would be we'll be live with a different speaker. We have awesome speakers lined up for the remaining 4 Fridays in October. I pray you don't miss any of this, and I hope that you're able to share this with your friends and your contacts. Don't come for these sessions alone. It's very important that you join, that you get other people to join these sessions, okay? I would love to have, I would love to see you share the video. So thank you so much. Next week, Friday, we'll be having Mr. Ezieke or AK Amefula, the CEO of Palm Drive. He's going to be speaking to us on digital marketing from a CEO's perspective. A lot of times when people talk about digital marketing, you see digital marketers talking about digital marketing. But here we're trying to flip the board. We're going to flip the story. You're going to see a CEO who uses digital marketing extensively in marketing their services. Palm Drive is Port Harcourt's biggest ride-hailing service, and we're glad to have him as a member of the community. They are currently trying to expand to other cities in Nigeria, starting from the region, of course. So one of the major marketing tools that Palm Drive has deployed to make them number one in Port Harcourt is digital marketing. So AK is not going to come and talk to you about digital marketing like a digital marketer. He's going to talk to you about, he's going to show you how they are able to use digital marketing to drive sales for them in their business. So next Friday is, you don't want to miss next Friday. And after that, we're going to discuss the upper Friday. We're going to discuss is okay. So let me leave that and share that next week. But let me just say that we have great speakers lined up. Speakers from some of the organizations, some of the major organizations that you already know. We have them lined up for this month. You don't want to miss any of the sessions, and please do share the links and invite people to join the sessions. Thank you so much for joining.
Uche,
now it's time for goodbyes.
Uche,
you
before
can
you
say
go,
your goodbyes in the comments until we meet next week Friday.
Uche, before you go, I told you I have they could download the slide. Yeah, they could download the slide for those persons who want to go over it with your team. So I just dropped the URL for you to share.
Oh, where's the link? You have
Okoduwa.com/free gift.
Okoduwa.com/free gift.
Yeah, they can have it.
Yes, I do. I'm gonna post it on the I'm going to post it on the chat.
Okay.
Let me post it on the chat. Okoduwa. So Paul has a free gift for all of you that joined. So you want to click okoduwa.com/free gift, right?
Of course, that's it. So
You
they'll
want
be
to,
able to download all the slides.
so you're able to download the slides, the slide of today's session. Okay. So thank you, Paul, for that gift. Thank you so much for making the slide available as well. So as many of you that enjoyed today's session, you want to be able to download the slide and go through them again. So as I look forward to seeing you next week, Friday. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Great day.